Hi there! Family and home are the most essential things for every creature, both humans and animals. But animals that live in the streets don't have a family. That's why helping stray animals is extremely important. Here are several people on my list who did everything they could to provide these poor things with those all-so-vital things. All the rescues in this video are real and are the demonstration of kindness and compassion. The rescuers from Howl of a Dog met Remy on the streets in a rural area in Romania. He had spent a lot of time near the grocery store, where a kind lady had fed him from time to time. It's typical for these regions that animals are not considered to be family members. They are either needed to either protect the property or they just live in the streets. Remy was too kind to do the first thing, so he had only the second way. He met the people with a lot of trust, and he trusted the rescuers so much that he got into the carrier without any problem. He was quickly ready to go to the vet to be checked. When all the necessary things were done, the rescuers brought him back to the village with a collar to protect him from being considered a stray dog. They were trying to find a family for him, but no one in the village wanted to give him shelter. The rescuers couldn't let this cute boy be left on the street again and took him to their place. Now Remy is extremely happy. He has a home, a lot of food, and toys, and he will never go back to the streets. Never. This scared homeless dog was heartbroken and sad. He had to live on the cold streets and was constantly roaming near the railway. The people from Howl of a Dog were afraid to organize a rescue mission there. The pup could run and suffer from a moving train. So they followed him, trying to redirect him towards a safer place. Every time they approached, he ran away, and it was quite a challenge for them. But he eventually understood that they were only trying to help him and stopped running away. The rescuers noticed the boy was limping and had a scar near his left eye. So they took him straight to the veterinary clinic. In the clinic, the vets found out that the dog had a microchip, but the owner refused to take the poor creature home. They also learned that his name is Bobby and he was 9 years old. Besides, he had run 10 miles away from his home. As the doctor said, his vision was completely lost in his left eye. An old scar located near the eye indicated that he had been injured there. But Bobby was very gentle, loving, and obedient, and he was still playful and curious. And the rescuers gave him a warm-hearted family and home that he needed so very badly. The rescuers from Love Furry Friends Rescue Channel knew about an old and blind dog that lived near garages. The dog didn't trust people, but they managed to catch her. They took her to the vet to be checked. And there they knew that Choppa was 10 years old and had cataracts in her eyes. The most horrible thing was that an x-ray showed a bullet inside. No wonder she didn't trust humans. In a few days, Choppa turned from the old and scared dog into a playful and happy one. Now she lives with her new family and enjoys every minute of her new life. Arnia was found in a garage yard. She was in heartbreaking condition. The poor girl was emaciated, anemic, dehydrated, having muscular spasms, and suffering from giardiasis. She needed people's help badly, and at last she got it when the guys from Howl of a Dog came to her rescue. When the rescuers found her, Arnia weighed only 13 pounds, and at last she could have enough food, get washed, and receive love and care. She was very tender and trustful. It took Arnia a month to become a joyful and happy dog. She plays all the time and thinks she is just a puppy. She adores communicating with people and other dogs. And this transformation is possible thanks to these kind people. Cute little gang attacked guys from dog rescue shelter Mladenovic, Serbia, when they arrived to the place when a lonely and abandoned pup had been seen. Firstly, there really was only one very sad and lonely pup. But later, other puppies appeared and ran towards the people. There were 5 puppies about 2 months old in the middle of nowhere without their mother. The rescuer couldn't believe their eyes. How did these cuties manage to survive? The people gave the little ones some food and took them to their shelter. When dealing with puppies, the rescuers were trying to find the mother, but sadly failed. They called the puppies Laura, Mona, Nana, Luna, and Bruno. They got all the necessary medical care and support and now wait for a new family. And this is Muffin. She is a happy and funny pup that got a new loving family. And all this is possible thanks to East Coast Corgi Rescue. A month earlier, the girl was noticed at a McDonald's parking lot in Alabama. Her new home was found by a shelter in Washington, and 20 volunteers helped in transporting her to her new home. One by one, they drove Muffin in a car, and every one of them admired her sweet-hearted nature. In her new house, there was another dog, and the owners really hoped that they would become friends. The first meeting was amazing. Muffin was a little shy, but fond of cuddling by her new parents. But she became very excited when her new humans brought her to her new place. It took her very little time to get comfortable, and in just a few minutes, she was playing with her new toys happily. She was very curious about everything, the house, the streets around, and she was obviously very happy. As her owners say, in the 5 months that she spent in their house, she unexpectedly became the head of household there. Now Muffin, her parents, and Ginsberg are really happy together. The guy from Flatbush Cats found Teddy on the streets of Brooklyn, in really bad shape and really needing immediate medical attention. He was so stressed and dirty that he didn't do the grooming by himself. But being near people who cuddled and stroked him, the boy relaxed. During the next several weeks, he got a lot of medical care and tons of attention every day. This cat needed a special sub-device in his body, and it became possible thanks to the people that had donated to help. In a few weeks, he started grooming himself and turned into an ordinary happy cat. 7 months later, the rescuers found loving owners for him, and he became a member of a big cat's family. Look at him! What a transformation! There were lonely puppies waiting on the street for someone to take them home. The people from Love Furry Friends Rescue Channel rushed to help. The man who found them couldn't take them home as they needed constant feeding and support, and he spent the whole day at work. After a visit to the vet, the rescuer knew that the pups were about 3 weeks old and they still needed special food every 2 to 3 hours. There were a boy and a girl, Gerda and Tatoshka, and they were amazingly adorable. They spent 2 weeks in the shelter and turned into very playful and joyful fluff balls. Even the grown-up dogs couldn't resist their charm. Let's hope they'll have a loving family soon. Natural disasters bring many problems and pain, not only to humans, but to animals too. These sweet 2 puppies had been through terrible things, losing their mother and miraculously surviving after an earthquake. They were found by the bloggers from J House Vlogs on one of the beaches of Puerto Rico, hiding under the deck just before the tide came up. The pups' rescuers did just everything they could to transport the puppies to their home in the United States. All the family was tremendously happy to have these new members at their home. All the children now take part in taking care of these puppies, helping them to overcome the stress and to turn into happy dogs. It was a very cold winter when Love Furry Friends Rescue Channel got the video about a very sad and scared puppy in the street. It was quite a challenge for them to find the pup who was hiding somewhere. He was obviously in very poor condition, so they immediately brought him to the vet. The boy needed urgent medical care, so he stayed at the vet for some time. 2 days later, the rescuers brought the stray pup home, and unexpectedly, the Rottweiler dog decided to adopt him. Now the kind-hearted dog gives all her love to the pup, making the life of the poor creature happy. The rescuers from AMA Animal Rescue Channel were called about 2 dogs being left outside in deplorable condition. So the rescuers brought them to a medical boarding facility to do all the necessary treatment. The people named them Bread and Butter, and on arriving to the shelter, each of them got their personal space. The dogs needed special psychological care as they had some behavior issues. And it did work! They turned into very nice and joyful dogs. Sometime later, for both of the dogs, new loving families were found, and they could definitely forget about all the horrors of living in the street. This amazing story happened in Houston. The couple, which are named Al and Irene, fell in love with a very cute little puppy and took her home. She was found by the volunteers from the shelter, and she badly needed love and care. The girl was so sad and lonely that Al and Irene couldn't pass her by. When Irene took her, she just nuzzled close to the woman and didn't want to be taken away. On arriving home, the girl was a bit shy. Her eyes were full of sadness, and Al and Irene really hoped they would manage to turn her into a happy dog as soon as possible. Let it be. Abby and her 8 siblings were taken from a shelter in Tennessee to New York, where they could find their forever home. The specialist from Fur Friends in Need helped them to do that with all the possible love in their hearts. Staying in foster, Abby turned out to be a very naughty and playful girl. Abby's future family saw her on the website of the shelter. They just fell in love with this amazing girl. But they didn't even expect how much joy she would bring to their family. All the members of the family went out to meet Abby. Firstly, she was a bit embarrassed, but then she was really happy to be surrounded by such lovely people. She is so securely loving that her family just can't help adoring her too. That's all for now, guys. Don't forget that your love and support helps the people to do all this important stuff. Send your likes, subscriptions, and donate, and you're sure to become a part of these important deeds.